Hey there guys, this is Eugene from Review Outdoor Gear. I have a review of a knife for you. I showed this knife a little bit earlier in the year when I got it, and I'm actually now around to making a review of it. Here's the box it comes in. So this is the Benchmade Bushcrafter 162. Here's what it comes like. Now, I'm gonna go through the specs of it real quick. Then I'll show a little bit of the knife itself and talk about it a little bit and how it feels and how I like it. And then I'm going to go talk about a little bit about the modifications that came in to this system, meaning the knife itself and the sheath and the flint rod. So first of all, I am very happy with this knife. It is quite the knife. You can get it somewhere between about $160 to $200 depending. You probably get it somewhere for $150 if you looked hard enough, or maybe get it used. It comes in this nice buckskin leather sheath. Some people complain about the sheath, and there are a couple of complaints about it, but they're not big deal type of complaints. I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. The knife itself, check this out. So it's a very nice knife. It's a bushcrafting knife. Some people don't think it's a bushcrafting knife because they don't like the fact that it's not high carbon steel, but this knife has been tested very rigorously by quite a few guys on YouTube, and it's been shown to be a very nice quality knife. So I'm quite happy with it so far. I haven't put it through the ringer quite yet, but I'm being kind of careful with it just because it's so nice. I will be using it though, and I think this knife will last me for a long time. So to talk about the specs a little bit, the length of the knife, or actually have the blade here, is 4.43 inches. From here to here, it's exactly 4.43 inches. It's a S30V steel, full tang, so it runs all the way through here. The weight of the knife itself is about 7.7 ounces, about 7.73, I think, maybe, somewhere right in there. That's the weight of just the knife itself. It has these nice scales here made out of G10 polymer. Now, very nice scales. The G10 material is very nice because it doesn't absorb water, so it doesn't get wet, and also it's very it's kind of grippy. It has these nice little grooves on it where it's ground to give you a nice kind of purchase on the handle. So that's that part. And then here, these little grommets are made out of titanium, and those hold in the scales. And then there's a little grommet, or grommet, or hole here for a lanyard if you like. So the knife itself is just so beautiful coming out of the box. It's kind of a little bit of a drop point here, but it's just a nice smooth curve along the top. Actually, if you put this on a table, it rocks back and forth like a little rocker. So it's just a very nice smooth curve all the way down the top. Very thick steel here. You can see that that's some nice thickness there to that steel. And then it has, it's not a full Scandinavian grind as some call it. It kind of goes up to here. It has a secondary bevel. That's nice. Very, very thick point here. That thickness runs all the way to here before it starts to taper into the edge. So that's going to be a very strong tip. And guys have really tested that thing. Nice strength here. It's made out of S30V steel, like I said. And the guy that designed this knife is Siebert. I guess he's designed quite a few cool knives. So he designed this one from Benchmade. So there we go. That's kind of the knife itself. Basically, it's built to last, and it's built very, very strongly. Because of this full metal construction, full tang, you can really abuse the knife, and because of this thickness, of course, you can baton with this thing. So you can, and I'll do a little bit of that. Put it on a piece of wood and try to split it by smacking it on top. It has a very, very nice 90-degree angle here on the edges to allow you to strike a flint rod or a mesh metal rod or a magnesium striker. That's very nice. It's very, very sharp. You can shave your nails with that, and that's usually the way you tell if that 90-degree angle is good. This thing slices. I mean, I don't even need to go into that. It slices beautifully. It comes super sharp out of the box. You can see that there's some dried grass. You can see how well that just shaves that. So yeah, not, you know, newspapers and all that, no problem. It just cuts very, very nicely. Okay, so that's the knife. Guys, you know, for maybe somebody who's looking for a bushcraft knife, there are a lot of options out there. I kind of went with this because I thought, hey, if I'm going to buy a knife, I want it to last and I want it to be a nice one. Very nice quality, okay? The sheath here, that's actually a very nice sheath. I like the way it looks and the way it carries the knife. It actually looks very, very nice. So it's made out of leather, buckskin leather. Nice thickness to the leather, very supple and soft leather. Nice little snap here. It has a little loop here for a magnesium or mesh metal rod to put in there, or people call it a fire steel. Has this D-loop, D-ring, and then these two things here. So it does not come with this little piece here. I think it's called a dangler or something like that. Basically what it does is, I'll show you when I put this on, it allows your knife to hang much lower and allows it to hang straight down when you sit or squat down, and it kind of takes it away from your waist level, brings it a little bit farther down, so it's just much more accessible. I had my father make this for me, and it's very nicely, easily removable. I've looked a little bit online and couldn't quite find them, but I think we'll make these available on Amazon. If so, there will be a link below. It's very easy to attach. I haven't really taken it on and off much, but it has these little kind of buttonholes, so to say, and that just allows you to kind of take it off if you don't want it and put it back on if you need it. And it's very, very secure on there. So most likely this little dangler here will be available on Amazon. If not, sorry, but if it is, there will be a link below to have that. It'll be handmade out of leather, by my dad. Probably have a stamp on it that'll say YAE, handmade. So some people, well, here, let me show you. One of the problems some people have is, well, what's nice, first of all, is this sheath has this plastic bit in it, okay? And that kind of prevents you from, when you're putting in the knife, so you don't cut the leather open. Some people didn't like that, and some people complain that, you know, if they put this in, it's going to cut through here. You know, I haven't had that problem, and actually you just need to be careful, and you know, you can be quite abusive, I think, to this sheath, and it shouldn't fall apart. It should be good. But some people have had problems with that. So I kind of took it out, and I did cut a little bit of it off. It kind of went all the way up to here, but I adjusted it. So actually now I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the modifications I've made. That's one of them. This thing's actually removable, so you can totally take it out of there, but it actually kind of retains the knife in there a little bit, and it's nice to have it there. What I've changed is, of course, the dangler. I've cut that thing, and the other thing I had my dad do actually is I had him re-sew this because it had some kind of cheap stitching on here, and he placed these two nice rivets. There are different kind of rivets on the one that comes when it comes to you out of the box. They're not as sturdy as these. The other thing I forgot to mention is it has this nice little lanyard hole, so if you want to tie this knife down to your leg, you have that. In terms of having the little loop there for your fire steel, well, I have this fire steel. I've reviewed this one, by the way. You can click on the link there to watch it. It's called the Friendly Swede fire steel. Very nice fire steel, very inexpensive on Amazon. Two of them for 15 bucks, but made this nice little handle, and that goes right in there. And it holds in there very nicely. There's another option with a little hair string you can have that you can attach it even better, and it'll loop around, but this holds actually quite well in here. So there we go. That's kind of some of the modifications. I guess that's not a modification, but the stitching in that part of it was, along with this thing here. So there we go, guys. You know, I'm not going to show you too much of beating and messing around with this knife. There has been a lot of very good demonstrations of how well made this knife is and how durable it is. I am going to show you a little batoning, and strike a fire steel maybe with it, and see how things go from there. I just wanted to recommend this knife. I think it's a great knife, a great tool to have for backpacking, for car camping, for the outdoors. If you know how to use a knife, this is what you got to have with you. So the handle, guys, is just beautiful. Look at that thickness there. Tapers off a little bit, and it has this nice little swell in the back. Some people have said that this is really nice. You can actually grab it around there if you need to chop a little bit, and it gives you a nice kind of hold on the tip, on the end of the knife. If you grab here, it's a very nice size blade. It allows you to have a very nice purchase on the knife itself for cutting. Well, yeah, it doesn't need any cutting. I don't have a wet stick here, but it gives you a very nice control of the knife. You can also use it that way. Quite comfortable, whichever way you have it. It has these nice little cutouts here to put your thumb on if you're going to do some fine work with it. That's very nice to have. Also, you can scoot your thumb up on here. It is a little sharp on the corners here for the fire steel striking, but you could still put your thumb up there if you need to do some fine work. It's a very nice slicer and chopper, and there we go. Let's do a little test with it, shall we? Guys, there's a knife. The way it sits on my hip, that's with the dangler. So you see what that does? Brings it down quite a bit. I have to happen to squat. The knife doesn't stay like that. It actually kind of moves down here. Pretty easy to dry out. Pretty easy to put back in. Has a little nice retention snap. It drops in there quite nicely. I don't have to force it. So there we go. That's the access you have there to the knife. It sits quite nicely. You can wear it to town if you want to. Look at that. Look at that beautiful color. Those red little spacers in there. Good stuff. How about some fire steel strikage? So here I have a friendly Swede. There we go. No problem there. So that's a good one to have. It's good to have that always in the outdoors. Something to make a fire with. Let's go do a little batoning, shall we? Alright guys, I have a very hard, I think this is a plum tree. It's very hard, you can hear that. See what that sounds like? So it's going to be hard to baton through this, but we will give it a shot. So when you do this right, you want to try to split right down the middle, so put the knife down just like that. And then you have a nice little block to smack it with. There we go. That wasn't so bad. It's better than an axe sometimes. One more. There we go. I'd say that does a good job. So anyway guys, I'd say it's a good knife. Definitely recommended by me. It's in the link below, in the description below, there's a link to it on Amazon if you'd like to buy that. And then there's also a link probably to the dangler there if it's going to be available. Also, subscribe to my channel and watch my other videos. Thank you very much for watching. This has been Eugene with Review Outdoor Gear. And as always, praise the Lord.